Good evening, everybody. It's Monday evening, and that means one thing and one thing only here in CRL. It is time for another instalment of the Cone Racing Academy. And this time we are taking on the Temple of Speed here in Monza. And I'm delighted to say that I am back, and once more I am joined by none other than Danny. Welcome along, Danny.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. Apologies for leaving you on your own last week, but
we missed you. I did miss you, mate. Did you have a good time off, though?
I did indeed. It was I can't really remember what I was doing last week, but I think that's it. Yeah, no, it was internet problems last week. Unfortunately, I fell foul of the old internet problems. But we're back here, stronger than ever, as we start then here for round 8. If you've been tuning in last week, I assume it was a good race, Danny. It sounded very good.
Oh, superb. It was the debutant Camiliano. He came in, he's warranted himself a full-time seat after one race, so it shows you how well he did. Absolutely top draw. He's got the full-time seat from McLaren. From Renault. Super Gaboo and Jar Williams both did well. They came second and third. They've gone up in the championship as well, so they're now pressing. Super Gabba goes into second behind Warrior Huntsman, so
yeah,
it was some good points made.
Yeah, so as you mentioned there, it is Warrior Huntsman that leads the Drivers' Championship here at round 8, and the team Alpha Tauri also sit atop the championship, so they've continued their strong form. So here we go then. It's going to be Vegas for the first hot lap of this session. Remember, it's an 18-minute short qualifying session and a 25% race. So here we go then as we come around the final corner, the Parabolica, one of the most beautiful corners on the circuit, and we take the run down towards turn 1. It's a very early DRS zone then. Here we go then, reaching speeds of just over 210 miles an hour, but you've got to make sure that you can pick the braking point here at turn 1 into the Retafilio chicane. It's nice and tight on the right, shift it left very quickly, and then a little bit wide on the exit. You want to be just touching that white line, and it's full speed around the Curva Grande, this long winding right-hander. You want to drift left, but then almost drift back right onto the racing line for the Della Roja chicane. It's another tight left down in second gear, open up into third gear on the exit as you come round, approaching the double 90-degree Lesmos. Here it is, Lesmo 1, staying nice and tight to the inside, run a little bit wide on the left-hand side. You can catch a little bit of curve than Vegas did, but as you shift down into the second Lesmo, it's a very wide entry from the Mercedes driver, but he's kept it within those track limits, and then it's a run down through the second DRS zone, down past over the old banking as we come up to one of the most deadly corners on the calendar, the Variante Ascari. That left-hander there at 8, turn 9 and 10 can catch people, especially that raised curve on the left of turn 10. Then it's another long straight on the run up towards the final corner. 11 corners here then in Monza as Vegas approaches the final corner. The toe there you can see for the Williams driver might be a little bit tasty as they come around, staying nice and wide on the exit, but keep those two wheels on the inside, and then you can cut across to the wall there, but Vegas opting not to do that, and he goes a 121.6, but immediately Jack Williams a 120.4. Good start there from the Williams car.
Yeah, solid start.
Yeah, I said I saw a little bit of practice from a few of these drivers earlier. Jar Williams managed a 120.7, I think was his fastest lap he managed in the practice session. But obviously you've got the party mode of Max here now. Oh, as Murphy's retired. Murphy has retired. I mentioned that it can be deadly, and as we see Warrior Huntsman, green flags, there's a William there. Ninja will stay on board with him through turn 9, and there it is on the left hand side is the stricken car of Murphy. That turn 10 raised curb catching him out, and he is the first driver to retire on track. Unknown Elder Reserve sitting in the pit lane for this session. It's not been a good few weeks for Murphy. I don't know how he did last week, but in a couple of qualifying sessions at the start of the season he just wasn't quite getting the most out of his car then.
Yeah, he's done. To be honest, the qualifying's not been too bad, and he's pulled a decent lap out every now and again when he's needed to sort of get him in a prominent enough position. And then he made a superb take at the first few corners. Was it last week when he went from 4th to 2nd early doors, and then ultimately he span out and it's cost him loads of positions and back to the back of the field having to fight his way up again.
Yeah, no, he is a good driver, Murphy. Like you say, he sometimes can make those really nice starts. and then it just comes to little bits that's not necessarily all his fault either. He just might catch like a curb like he's just done there at turn 10, or he gets involved in an instance. We see Royal Viking pitting then on the medium tyres. He's down in 7th. It's an interesting one, this as well. Welcome along, Greg. Greg's back in. He's managed to sort his PlayStation Plus, so that's always good to see. Oh, and Big Ben's here as well.
Here we go.
Happy days. Some of the drivers then, yeah, suffering from internet connection issues or PlayStation Plus issues in the case of Greg, but they're in the session now, so that's always good to see. Before they came in, I was about to ask you, obviously with the short qualifying format, it's very difficult to know whether to go for track position or the strategy in some circuits. Monza, one of those particularly, because it's such a fast circuit that that medium tyre and the longer stint doesn't necessarily mean anything.
I just think with a race like this and a first corner like that, I would want to be as high up the track as I could possibly be to avoid any potential comings together further back in the pack. So personally, I would try and get as fast as I can, as bullet as I can, and try and get away on the track.
Yeah, you mentioned there that first corner, that sort of entry into the Reta Fila chicane off the pit lane straight. That's going to be interesting because, like I say, if you've got cold brakes or cold tyres from that formation lap or safety car restarts, etc., then because it's such a long and fast straight into that braking zone, like you say, especially at the start, you have to sometimes brake. If you're at the back of the pack, you have to brake a good 100-150 metres before you even see the brake boards.
I've lost a lot of time on laps right at the very, very start as well. It's disheartening when you get that first one wrong, but it's such a fast corner. You have to be spot on to get the optimal launch out of turn 2.
Yeah. Welcome along then, Sadistic King's in. Welcome along, Dowski, here to support Vegas. He's currently up in 6th, so good lap from him so far. Shadow Moody as well, up in 2nd. So a couple of good laps that we've missed while we've been talking. Currently, though, only one driver in that 120.4s, and that is Ja Williams in the Williams. And there is... Yeah. So we said about that debate about the mediums that we've just had, and Nathan's just set a purple sector 2 in that second sector on the medium compound tyres. He's coming through up to the Parabolica now. Will he have kept his speed up or not? We shall see. Sporting that ferocious orange and blue helmet. Oh no, he's backed off. So Nathan has backed off this lap then. I think he made a mistake just coming round turn 10. And he is now back to what kind of Salt King muster. He's on his first flyer of the day. Looks like to be about 124, I think. No, 122.8. So he goes just behind his teammate into 9th place. Highest placed medium driver then, Warrior Huntsman, the championship leaders, putting a string of good performances over these 7 rounds that we've completed so far. So he's there in 5th on the medium tyres. We've got Camiliano, that driver that you were praising after his performance last week. He's in 4th on the softer compound.
Yeah, he was really impressive last week, to be fair. He did it start to finish, was just really consistent. That's what ultimately got him in.
Yeah, and that's the thing here at the CRA, what it's all about. Super Gabby, what a lap! 120.1 from the Red Bull driver. 3 tenths. 3 tenths clearer. Oh, and then as we say that, 2,000th of a second faster than him. Royal Viking. Oh, and Camiliano goes even faster. A string of fastest laps then, and it's Camiliano who takes it by about 4 tenths. Just shows you what Monza is like. If you can nail a few of the corner exits, you put yourself in a good position.
I reckon track temperature might be coming into play a little bit here.
Yeah, they do say it's those. If you can warm up the tyres and you get that track evolution like you just mentioned there, you can find yourself going faster and faster. But all it takes, though, on the other hand, is it takes one little clipped curb or a bit of grass, and it does the opposite. You lose all that time that you've gained. As we see Capawanda in 6th place. through the Del Roger chicane. His teammate Warren Huntsman coming back out then down in 9th for the number. Oh, as Nathan's retired in the pit lane, so one of the reserves opting to stay in his box for this session. There is your championship leader. He's going out on a softs, as I said there, and Jar Williams starts his next flying lap. Was on provisional pole with that 120.4. We've had over half this session. Then is he going to make an improvement? We've got Assault King and Harvey on flying laps. Harvey's just pushed himself up into 6th place. As Greg's game centre is here. Welcome along, Greg. He's back again, and this time he's managed to sit in his car.
Back for good.
We've got Racing Slade and Matt in the McLarens, 11th and 12th as it stands. Vegas down in 10th place.
Yeah, I've just been having a little look of his lap at the moment. He's just going around the final corner. Not sure he's going to have the pace. Oh no, he has. Has he? No, he hasn't.
No, so I just tuned in there. He was a little bit quicker, 120.4. So he was almost a second and a half faster, but invalidating meant that he obviously did not get that lap classified, as Warrior Huntsman behind him might have had a bit of a tow. He's caught a little bit of the curb though on the inside as he comes round the Curva Grande. I'm not sure what Camiliano's first sector was, but Warrior Huntsman will be looking to match it, if not surpass it. And here we go then. He's up by a 10th on his previous best time of 26.5 for the Alpha Tauri driver. Jar Williams into the 119s, a 119.9. Said he was quick on his first run. His second run, even faster. I think that's about 5/10 for him. We're on board with the championship leader though. Apologies for not being on label with every car, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. But that's a great lap from the Williams driver.
Harvey's just had a couple of attempts at it. He's just gone back in the pits. He's got plenty of time to come out and have another go.
Yeah, Warrior Huntsman's just gone 4/10 up in the second sector, but that turn 9 curb has caught him out and he's had to invalidate. So 5 minutes and a half left in the session roughly, and it's Jar Williams that sits on pole position. It's Camiliano in second, and Royal Viking with a stunner in the Alfa Romeo putting himself third. Just a shout out, I remember you said earlier about Super Gavi when he took that original provisional pole. He's been reserving in some of the CRC races this year, which is one thing that we like to try and get these guys doing as the experience builds up. He's put in some good performances.
Yeah, he's been he's deserved his chance. He's definitely deserved his chance, and he's shown it like week in week out now in the academy. So that's the whole point of it. We've just seen JD out of get a recent promotion because of his standard of driving recently. So hopefully he's putting in a fair case for him to move up as well. Yeah,
so as I said, Super Gabu in 4th then. He's about to start his second run. We've got the McLaren of Racing Slade coming around the final corner, and it looks like he might have wing damage, unfortunately. Yes, there you can see on his right hand side he's clipped a wall somewhere, and he is in the box. Good evening, Daniel Collier, or Aquadan to those of you at home. He has just joined the chat, wishing his best. Good evening to you, sir.
Hello, Matt.
So Matt in the pits as well. Both McLarens deciding to box. We've got 4.5 minutes left. It goes so quickly to these short qualifying sessions, but it's all the excitement that we love to see. It's Royal Viking out for another lap then. He's currently in third. His teammate and him split by that Super Gabu lap.
Yeah, I'm just on board with Super Gabu now. There's been a yellow flag somewhere. It's not going to affect him at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's one of the Ferraris going off at the sort of sequence of 8, 9, 10. Almost the Vettel of last year. I don't know if you remember that at home, but the old Vettel and Stroll incident, I think it was. And there they are, the two Ferraris line astern at their home Grand Prix. They're coming through Parabolica now, both on an outlap. Will Harvey be able to get a tow? We'll see. Just there is his teammate.
Well, Super Gabu invalidated, but Royal Vikings just had a purple first sector.
As we see Shadow Moody then coming through into turn 1, spotting in number 47. It's nice to see a different number than usual. As we go back on board then, you said Super Gabu invalidated, but Royal Viking is about to come across the line. Oh, and it's an absolute stunner of a lap, of 119.781. Jar Williams then joining. Oh, it's been great to see these times tumbling down.
Pretty special.
We've got Matt Warner out then for his second run. It's nice to see they've put the livery up there. So not one thing we've not mentioned yet today. The old livery update in game means that the rainbow flags and the We Racers 1 logos attached to all the cars.
Nice little touch.
Yeah. Oh, as Greg's first run doesn't seem to go too well. He's already gone off at the Della Roger chicane. He's managed to keep it out of the wall though. What can Capawanda manage? Oh, he's just gone third place on the softer compound tyres.
The salt's not going to improve on this lap either. It's invalidated.
Yeah. So his teammate currently on pole then, Salt King down in 6th. What can Jar Williams muster this run then? I think he's just gone quicker. I'm not sure. He said he was 5/10 up. But I think
MUFC Harvey's just gone ahead of Shadow Moody.
Has he? Yeah, you can see there on the left hand side.
Yeah, I think they've just switched positions.
Yeah, so it's a 120.6 for Harvey and a 120.9 for Shadow Moody. I think with them two they were split by Capawanda on his medium run, and now Capawanda's gone up into third place and brought them together. And then, as you say, Harvey able to jump his teammate. As we jump on board with Warrior Huntsman, who dives into the pits again. It's not been the qualifying session for the championship leader, has it? Down in 10th place, a 121.4. Remember, all drivers in the top 10 will be assigned the tyres that they qualify their best lap on. So, as it stands, all of the top 10 on those softer compounds. As we see,
I think Warrior actually in 10th. His best was on the medium.
We'll just have a quick look, and you would be correct. So his best lap time indeed is on those medium compounds, a 121.4. As we can see from the graphic on the left hand side, everyone else has set their best on the mediums. As we see a Ferrari coming into the pit lane, it was Shadow Moody. Harvey's going for another run. Don't think he's managed to improve as he comes down into the Retta Filio. What can everyone else muster? Jar Williams is down a 10th then as he goes through sector 1. He's coming up to the Della Roger chicane now, looking for a good clean exit. You're allowed to touch that curb on the left hand side, as we said earlier, but I don't think already through sector 1 that he's going to be able to manage it. He's got the Alpha Tauri of Capawanda who's run out of fuel, but he's on the left hand side there, so we'll come through. Oh, and there goes the DRS polystyrene board. Jar Williams then, here we go, sector 2 check mark. He's down by 0.03 of a second. It looks like with just 7 seconds to go, Danny, the Royal Viking might have done enough.
I think it's going to take a very special lap to beat him. I think he might have just put it on the spot. Miliano's on a fast lap here.
Yeah, I've just jumped on board with the Renault driver. As you said, he's gone purple sector 1, so he's a 10th up on his previous best time. That 10th just in that first sector alone would take him into the into the high 119s. So he needs to find a bit more time through this second and third sector. He's coming through the second Lesmo now in the run up to the DRS zone. As Jar Williams retires from this session, then he obviously wasn't able to improve. His teammate Ninja down in at 12th. Oh, it's a purple sector 2 from the Renault driver as well. He's running up now the back straight, manages to keep it in between those two white lines. Here we go, and I think this is the only driver really with a chance at jumping at Royal Viking from pole position. Here we go then, through Parabolica up into 8th gear. Then you want to approach 200 miles an hour as he crosses the line. Oh, and there we go, it's a 119.664 and pole position for the Renault driver of Camiliano 29.
Wow.
As you can see there, he's just a tad ahead of Royal Viking. I think that's only about, what's that, just under a 10th. Yeah. 1.17 I think it is, 1/10. Yeah. And Royal Viking done very, very well. Jar Williams in 3rd, Capawanda is 4th, Super Gabu 5th, Assault King 6th, Vegas is 7th. For Shadow Moody then the only driver left out on track. I think though he might have caught a bit of luck with this Codemasters glitch then that allows you to run a lap. Oh, and he's just invalidated on his out lap. kept it going though. Yeah, so there's a glitch going at the moment. If you're out before the end of the session, you can still set a lap time. I'm not sure if he knows it though. We shall see. But yeah. So then, Danny, what's your initial thoughts after this qualifying session?
Good. At one point, I thought sort of low 120s was going to be good enough to do it, and then, you know, slowly but surely, we were just picking each other off. Unbelievable lap to stick in there at the end by Camilliano after a win last week to then put a pole in the following week. It's not a bad introduction to the academy. Yeah.
So as you said, the fastest flying lap was at the start on the first runs was that 120.4, I think it was, from was it Joe Williams? So yes. He went up first, and that was a great run, as we said. The pole lap time in the main race for CRC1 was a 120.5. So that was in mixed conditions then. So already a few tenths up on that from Camilliano. But obviously that was in mixed conditions. And then in the main race for CRC2, pole was actually a 119.716. So Camilliano actually set a faster pole time than 4-star it was that day. So that just goes to show the quality of these drivers in the CRA then, that the pole lap was actually faster. Obviously we do know that a lot of things happen in different lobbies, etc., but I mean, wow.
I know, that's all you can really say at the moment for him. If he storms it today, then, you know, we've got to be considering his a bright future for him.
Yeah, well, you said it earlier, and it's one thing that we love here at CRL. Obviously, we run a promotion and relegation system every season. We've got just 3 races to go here, 4 races to go in the main championships, CRC 1 and 2. And we've already seen, I think you mentioned JD's gone up into a full-time seat, and I think someone else has gone up as well. And taken another full-time seat, but they've all been in the academy and they've shown their true pace.
Oh yeah, you know, you get your deserves. That it's good to see races going up into higher leagues. It gives everyone else in the academy as well that view of seeing it happen and giving them that extra little drive to increase the time and keep pushing.
Yeah, so
get the chance.
So as we start this race, then you can see they go away for the formation lap. So just a quick note then, the top 10 obviously all having to start on their tyres that they qualified in from the top 10 obviously, and you notice there on the left hand side, 10th place Warrior Huntsman championship leader on the alternate strategy, and the only other driver the driver above him, Murphy. So 2 drivers going for that medium strategy as we were talking about earlier, Danny.
Yep. But it'll be interesting to see how they do early doors in the race, just keeping plenty of pace up. As long as they can keep the tyres nice and warm early doors and make sure that they keep nice and close, it should be probably, arguably, the favourable strategy.
I do think though that in a 25% race, as these are 13 laps, you can see there at top left, if there is an early safety car, especially in a place like this where that as a predicted pit stop strategy comes up then about lap 7, if there's an early safety car and you're on the softs, you can hop onto those mediums and you can go to the end of the race, but if you're on the mediums, you can't take the softs. They won't last. So in that situation, you stay out on the mediums, but then you've got a pit and you need to pull away from that gap, but the soft runners don't. So it's very, very interesting, as you say, and we say it all the time.
It's just however it happens on the day, isn't it? There's circumstances, ifs and buts. You just have to hope that it goes your way on the day. But Warrior might have done a genius tactic, or he might have done a very foolish one. But
exactly, and this is the moment where we find out, then, isn't it? As the drivers line up on the grid for round 8 of the CRA here at the Temple of Speed in Monza. We've got Big Ben joining us for the session, and he'll be starting from the back of the grid. Great to see him coming in. Wasn't able to race him initially, but there we are. His teammate Unknown Elder just ahead of him, and Nathan in 16th. There we go then. Lap 7 for the mediums. Lap 9 if you want to jump on those hards, as we got Big Ben then setting his place on the grid. I do not like these camera angles. There we go then. No. Here he is. The 5 red lights come on, and we wait for them to go green as the drivers rev their engines. We are racing here in round 8, and it's a good start from Camiliano on pole. But has Royal Viking got the inside line? It looks like he has. Is he going to take the lead into the first corner? Camiliano's got a great run though in the second phase. Oh, Viking goes deep. He's gone deep. And he's got a 5-second penalty already. Not the start that he would have wanted. Camiliano in second. Assault King up to third. Capawanda down in fourth. Harvey's had a great jump. Not so for Jar Williams down in 6th place. Super Gabby's dropping. We've got a McLaren round, I think, down at the back of the grid. That's Racing Slade dropping positions. Warrior Huntsman, though, down in 16th. The championship leader losing 6 positions on that opening lap. Nathan as well. Big Ben might have gone round. There he is. Big Ben at the Della Rocha chicane. A very, very frantic start here in round 8. And so Capawanda's out. Capawanda is out. He has gone, and we have got that safety car I was on about. Capawanda and Ja Williams both round. Ja Williams there. 5-second penalty for Ninja. He's down in 8th place.
A lot of fighting going on, considering there's a yellow flag.
Yeah, oh, as Camiliano almost touches the back of the Williams. He's down in 8th place, so he's been involved in some contact somewhere. Oh, and he's just drove into... Oh, no, it's carnage. He's just drove into the back of the Williams. He's been hit from behind. Oh, and he luckily ghostings on, or that could have been even worse. Not a very good start for the front runners there. Nerul down in there, and it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2 as we start this race. Very interesting though. Only 2 drivers going into the pits at the moment, Vegas and Gabu, so they can, remember, take those mediums to the end of the race. I think Vegas has got a front wing change. There you go. So this is going to be interesting. What's happened to Racing Slade? Oh, as Ja Williams has caused absolute pandemonium. We've got a few drivers pitting then.
Yeah, Gabu's pits, Vegas pits.
Camiliano's pit as well.
Yeah, they all are.
Jesus, speeding in the pit lane for Camiliano. Not the opening laps that we had expected. An Unknown Elder who started at the back of the grid has jumped an incredible 16 places and is first in the race. Or is he?
I'm not sure if he is.
I can't see. No,
he did jump up.
He did
jump up to like 10th or 11th. He's gone to.
Yeah, he has jumped up, but apparently not as far as we see. It's the Alfa Romeos that lead then, Royal Viking and Assault King. I thought something drastic had happened. But there, Harvey is 5th. It's Elder in 5th place then. So it's up 12. Not that Greg's Game Centre is not in 1st position. He is down in about 14th or 15th, I believe. Oh, as Murphy's retired from the session.
He's gone.
Where is Murphy? What has happened to him? It looks like at one of the Lesmos,
yeah,
he is in the wall. And that's not the day that the Mercedes driver would have imagined. Here we go. Then you can see there on the right hand side, and there is the stricken car missing that front right wheel. Oh, so unlucky. 2 drivers gone then in 2 laps. Interestingly though, not a lot of the front runners opting to ditch those soft tyres.
It's just we've lost 2-3 drivers. Is it 2? No, sorry, 2 drivers there under a safety car, which I just don't understand. They don't need to be pushing that hard. They're going to catch them up, but well, maybe trying to get tyres warm and made a mistake possibly. Yeah,
quite possibly. That Nesmos can be tricky with the curbing. If you are, for example, like you say, trying to wear your tyres, or you're just pushing the throttle down a little bit too hard, and you spin the wheels then without much grip, that can happen to you. But it's very, very interesting to see him go off there. Vegas is in the box again, and Unknown Elder is also in. They fit the medium tyres, I believe. We'll jump onto, there we go. It's harder tyres for Elder and harder tyres for Ninja as well.
Be a bit of a cat and mouse playing now. You've got Jar Williams with loads of pace, Nathan with loads of pace, Camiliano with loads of pace, all at the back of the field. When this car goes in, it's going to be very interesting to see how many safe passings they can make in the field if they can get through them. But Super Gabu looks in a decent position in 6th at the moment if he can keep pushing on. I
was going to say, I was just about to mention Warrior Huntsman. We said starting 10th on that alternate strategy, and we mentioned an early safety car on the formation lap, what would happen. But we've seen there that the drivers that were in front of him that could have gone from soft to medium, like Super Gabu, have all decided to stay out. So they will need to pit again, and so will Warrior Huntsman. So I think that's a good shot at a podium for the Alpha Tauri driver as a safety car comes in this lap then. Ninja's been given another 5-second penalty. This is one thing that does get me, is drivers under safety car periods driving into the back of other drivers. You're allowed 10 car lengths.
Yeah, it's just all of them just want to steal as much time as they can, but we've just seen in Mugello what can happen. Try and take up too close to the car in front.
And as we're talking about that, Ninja has been disqualified then for multiple penalties. Camiliano's been given another time penalty as well. But here we go then, Royal Viking starting in second, leads the race through the first safety car period. And here we go. We restart then on lap 4 of 13. It's a good run though, down towards turn 1 from MUFC Harvey. Is he going to make a move down the inside? He is. He's got to make sure he gets to the braking point. No, it's a nicely worked move from the Ferrari driver. Splits the Alfa Romeo. He's got a great run on Royal Viking as well. But I think the Alfa Romeo has got just enough speed as they come through the curve grande down the field there. Nathan up into 9th place. Shadow Moody dropping to 10th. It's Elder, Big Ben, Camiliano, Joe Williams and Vegas at the back of the pack. Vegas looking to make a move down the inside of the Williams. But I think he's got just enough distance. Has to think, as we've got cars going wide, there's a Renault going wide, there's 2 Renaults going wide. That's Camiliano at the back there then. No, it's not Camiliano. I don't know who it is. My timing is glitching. But MUFC Harvey and Assault King still fighting for a position. But they got Warrior Huntsman now on the back of them as well in the run down towards Ascari.
I think Nathan had come into contact with someone. I didn't see it, but he had to straighten up and go over the side of the curb. I'm not sure if he'd have got a time penalty for it. Didn't notice.
And Assault King then in that meantime has got in front of Harvey down the inside of turn 9, but his teammate Royal Viking pulling him away then 2.7 seconds, and that's Warrior Huntsman looking around the outside of Parabolica. Harvey will have the inside though. Who's going to have the better drive as Huntsman runs out of ERS? A 124.6 for this. It's a straight drag race now down towards the first corner. And they're side by side. There's not a lot of room being left by each driver.
Leave space, lads, leave space.
Who's going to make the braking zone? And it's the Ferrari driver that stays in front then. Back down the field. Shadow Moody has gone off. So Shadow Moody has missed the braking point. He's now had to drop down. He's down in 12th. Racing Slade back into the pit lane as Viking leads by 2.5 seconds. Harvey in 3rd then manages to fend off the championship leader, but he kicks up a lot of dust on the run down towards the Ledsmos. Here we go. Not this time. What about Super Gabu? He's got Matt Warner behind him. Matt on the softer compound tyre though. Will need to pit again. Or will need to pit, sorry, after starting on those tyres. Back at the front, we've got Big Ben making a move, on the outside in the run down towards turn 9. And it looks like he's going to be in front there side by side in the braking zone. But Matt deciding that it's not worth fighting too much and keeping yourself in the race. Remember, it's not one on the opening laps, it's one at the end. With MUFC Harvey right on the rear of Assault King then as they come through Parabolica. Once again, it's that straight drag race, a 123.2 from Royal Viking. As there you can see on the right hand side, the medium pit stop is now, and here we go then, overtake depressed. Is Harvey going to make a look down the inside? Yes he is, he's late on the brakes. And they touch. And that forces Assault King over the curves to keep his position, but Warrior Huntsman is there to pick up the scraps. Is he going to have the drive? No, he's not, because those softer tyres have got the better grip, but he's still there and fighting. This is really, really good stuff from these drivers. Big Ben and Unknown Elder have made it past the McLaren of Matt then on lap 6. We're almost halfway through this race. There is your championship leader. He's got a great run on Harvey though into the first. Lesmo is going to look down the inside, and he gets the move done. That's a lovely move there Remember, he's on those medium tyres. We'll pit for the softs. Harvey will be pitting for the mediums. So it looks like a good strategy from the championship leader. Then 5 seconds now, the gap between Royal Viking and Assault King. Absolutely flying. Here we go then, Harvey looking behind Warrior Huntsman. And he didn't get the greatest of exits there, but there's only 2 attempts. We fly with the helicopter through the trees, up past the old banking in the run down. Remember, DRS is now open as well. We've served those 2 laps after safety car. 1:23.2. Those times keep tumbling at the front of this race. Oh, and it's into the pits then. So we have our first pit stops. It's Assault King and Harvey.
Yeah. Huntsman goes into second out. He needs to push as hard as he can now. He's got some clean air. Try and make the most out of this lap before he comes in. In fact, he's on medium, so he might try and get...
in the meantime, Big Ben has tried to make a move on Super Gabu for third, but he's gone straight on at the Retafilio, and he's now down in 5th place. Super Gabu takes third, then Warrior Huntsman in second. Remember, both of those on the medium tyres. Gabu does not need to pit again. Huntsman does. That gap, those 6 seconds between him and Royal Viking. There we go then as we drop down the field just to take a look on that. Camiliano, after that early couple of battles, is down in 6th place. The pole sitter, Ja Williams, down in 7th. Nathan up into 9th place, but running those harder compound tyres. It's Moody. Greg in 11th. Assault King coming out of the pits then down in 12th. And Harvey is in 14th. As we see, is the Alpha...
Finish.
Yeah, most certainly is. I was just about to say, is he going to pit? There it is. Royal Viking is into the pits. Lap 7 of 13 as Warrior Huntsman comes in as well. Super Gabu inherits the lead. Remember, Super Gabu pitted very early on for the medium compounds off the soft, so he is in a very good position. But look at that, the closing speed of the Haas. This time he's not going to make a move, thinking better of it as they come through turn 2 then. Who's going to have the better exit in towards Curva Grande? It is the Red Bull. Where are they coming out then? Royal Viking and Warrior Huntsman.
Yeah, Gabu's going to have to... He's through 5 laps, Gabu. He's got another 5 to go, so he'd need 10 out of those.
Yeah, I think the average tyre wearing the 25% is about 11 or 12 laps. Oh, as Harvey and Matt are exchanging positions, there is the Ferraris through around the outside of turn 2. He takes that 13th place. As you can see, those front runners that didn't pit early on, down then in the lower echelon. Oh, as we've seen Assault King go wide, he took a lot of the curb and he's managed to keep his car going straight. And in the meantime, Unknown Elder was given a 3-second time penalty. Oh, we've got yellow flags in sector 3, and Nathan's retired from the race. Drama at the front, and there he is on the right, on the left-hand side. Sorry, and for the 2nd time today, we see a safety car. So that is very, very interesting. Nathan then looks like he's caught the curb at turn 10. Flicked himself into the wall on the left hand side, and he is wheelless. This is going to be very interesting then. Who's making pit stops for new tyres? Unknown Elder fits the mediums. Who else is in? Gabu fitting a pair of softs. Camiliano comes in for a new front wing and a new set of softs. That gives the lead to Ja Williams. It's Shadow Moody in 2nd, Vegas in 3rd, Greg's up in 4th, and the original race leader, Royal Viking, down in 5th. As there you can see the safety car letting these cars go through then. Waiting to pick up your race leader. We've got just 4 laps to go though, so I'm not sure how long this safety car will last. I think it might only do a lap or 2.
If it leaves them 2 laps to go, you've got to... It's going to be crazy scenes. Yeah. Interestingly, the 2 that opted for hards and went on the hards have probably pushed too hard. Nathan Black Ninja, I suppose Black Ninja was disqualified, but it was always going to be quite hard for him to keep pace.
Yeah, the hards do have good tyre wear around here, but I'm not necessarily sure they're the best race tyre. Obviously, they've got the most tyre life and not the greatest of grips. And a fast track like this, you want as much grip on the exit as you can. That's why the soft tyres are so quick around here. But obviously, they do wear out very, very quickly because of that pure speed. As Shadow Moody then opts to box with just 3 laps to go. Is that going to be a costly decision for him? We shall wait and see, because the driver in the top 5 on the softs, Warrior Huntsman, looks in a good position.
It is looking quite favourable for him there. He's going to definitely have plenty of pace. So after that, less than for his standards acceptable qualifying, he's going to have all the chance in the world to go and win this.
Yeah, remember he was one of 2 drivers to start on that alternate strategy, him and Murphy. He's now in 5th. Murphy unfortunately out in the early stages. Not such a good race for the McLarens today. Then they're down in 13th and 14th. Quite a few pit visits, unfortunately. Shadow Moody then comes out in 12th place on a fresh set of softs. But I just don't think he's got enough laps to get back up the grid.
Yeah, it's a brave decision. He's going to have some last couple of laps and hope that there's incidents ahead of him for a chance to get right up there. But it's got a chance to get into the points. I'd be interested to see Super Gabu's also just on fresh soft. Camiliano fresh softs, albeit that he's a little bit further back. But when they're going to be bunched right up, by the time this car comes, 2 laps to go, flat out, anything can happen.
Yeah, as I said, this is going to be one of those things where you want to get your brakes warm and your tyres warm at the same time as in that run down towards turn 1, because as you say, it's going to be lap 12 when we actually restart. Lap 11 will be when the safety car comes in, so 2 laps of racing afterwards, and it's not really the most easiest place to overtake is Monza. DRS won't be enabled as Unknown Elders into the box. Jesus. I did not expect to see a car pit with just 2 laps to go. But as I said, DRS is not going to be enabled for those 2 laps that we are racing because of the safety car period. And here we go then. So Unknown Elder opting for this softer tyre down in 13th though. Who's your money on then for the victory with this safety car?
It's tough. I think that the 4th and 5th Royal Viking and Warrior Huntsman are going to have a superb battle trying to get past the 3 at the front. If they're only left, if these 3 can play it right and defend well, you know, who's to say that they can't leave themselves on the podium? It's going to be interesting. Obviously, they've got more wear in the mediums, and they're not going to be able to hold the pace. But as you say, it's not always the easiest place to pass when there's a load of other cars in front of them.
Yeah, probably one of the best places to overtake on this circuit is the pit straight run in towards the Rettifilio. But after a safety car, your brakes are going to be cold, your tyres are going to not be up to temperature. So like you say, all it takes is a little bit of late braking and you're into another car, you're going deep, and you've cost yourself 6 when you were going after 1 position. So
yeah, it's well, I'd love to try. All about being daring, isn't it?
Yeah,
go for it. Why not?
Harvey's given a 5-second penalty then for ignoring yellow flags. I think he's got ahead of Camiliano and not given the place back. So a lot of penalties, obviously, that we haven't even contemplated in this race as they come through to start what is going to be the penultimate lap. You can see there at the front there, Ja Williams backing the pack up for what is going to be a sprint to the finish. Vegas just behind him on the mediums. Look out for Royal Viking though, he's got about 5 or 6 that fresher tyres, and Warrior Huntsman on the softs. See the pack being backed up. We're about to come round the Parabolica then and restart this race. Matt Warner's given a 5-second penalty. That's a problem, but it's a great getaway from the Williams car. He's up past the line and we're racing again. Lap 12 of 13. Royal Viking though has got absolutely good run on the racing point, but I think he's just going to be a little bit too far back. Super Gabu and Warrior Huntsman not able to use the soft so far. Is anyone going to miss their braking point? There's a Ferrari going down the inside. That is Harvey and the Renault of Camiliano, and Harvey's going right the way around the outside. They almost bang. Wilson, Greg's Gameson has gone. Gabu's gone as well. Who else is that? That's Matt Warner in the McLaren. Oh my God, disaster on those laps in fourth. Super Gabu. He's down in 8th place, but Joe Williams getting away well then. He's got almost a second to his closest challenger. What about Warren Huntsman? What can he do? Down in 4th place.
Joe Williams has had a superb launch there in the first place, played it well. Waited until he was in the final corner, parabolic, and then just absolutely floored it.
As you were talking just there, that is Royal Viking making a move around the outside. He's going to get ahead in the braking zone towards turn 9. He moves up into 2nd place then, but he's got... that's Assault King, his teammate, with that 3-second penalty then. But Royal Viking up into 2nd. Warrior Huntsman, though, right on the attack down the inside. He's got the faster tyres, remember. He's going to go down the inside. Looks like he's got that move done. He's up into the podiums then from 7th place. Camiliano looking down the inside of Assault King. Another softly medium battle, and the Renault's got the inside line. Overtake dispatch then for both drivers, and that's Vegas making a move down the inside of Huntsman with the toe. And oh, they almost bang wheels in towards turn 1, but the Alpha Tauri stays in front. Camiliano's given a 3-second time penalty. Super Gabu back up into 9th place then. But look at this at the front of the pack. Royal Viking has closed right up to Jar Williams, as Huntsman and Vegas still going at it through the Curva Grande. And Williams stays in front. Oh, and the Renault's looking lively as well. Almost touching back in his Warrior Huntsman. They're almost 6 line astern there through that Della Rogia chicane. Camiliano makes his way up into 4th place. Remember, he's... Oh, and there's a car spinning.
Sideways.
That's Vegas sideways through the first Lesmo. I think that's a bit of wing play. And Harvey is out. Harvey has hit the wall at the first Lesmo, and he is out. Oh, so unlucky for him. This is the final lap of the race, remember.
3 of Brett's going down to Ascari.
Oh, and that's Assault King. That's Royal Viking out of this race. No, Royal Vikings drove so well, pushing really hard in the dirty air of the Williams. He's gone over the curb and just floored it into the wall. That puts Warrior Husband up into 2nd, but down the back of the field, Camiliano, Shadow Moody looking for 4th place. There's a Haas going slowly. That is Elder. But here we go then. Joe Williams crosses the line and takes victory here in Monza, provided he's got no penalties. Yes, indeed, he stays in 1st. Huntsman is 2nd, and Camiliano crosses the line in 3rd, but he's not in 3rd anymore. It's Super Gabu that takes the final podium position. Camiliano 4th, Assault King in 5th, and Elder Stick. So many cars so close, I don't even know who's finished where.
Gabu made an undercut just on the last corner. I think it was Vegas. I think it was another car as well that he passed, and he was half a second away from dropping out of off the podium, so he's done very well at the end, sticking himself on it.
Yeah, it's heartbreak though for Royal Viking. As much as we can commend those drivers, unfortunately Royal Viking was pushing so hard. He had the fresher tyres, but he was in the dirty air of the Williams, and he just lost it. Veered straight on at Ascari, and he is unable to score points today.
It's hard to take.
So after all of that, it is indeed the Alpha Tauris that stay top of the constructors, I believe, and top of the drivers, with Warrior Huntsman taking 2nd place. And there you have it. So all the penalties have come into play, and it's Warrior Huntsman and Super Gabu on the podium alongside your race winner Jack Williams. Camiliano in 4th, Assault King in 5th, Elder on debut as a reserve in 6th, Vegas in 7th, Racing Slade up into 8th place for McLaren, struggling there, and there's 2 McLarens in the top 10 then, as Matt takes 10th and Shadow Moody down in 9th. Fastest lap outside the top 10, however, though, Big Ben, after serving those penalties and quite a few DNF, showing just how tricky Monza can be. So the last question left to ask you then, Danny, who's your driver of the day?
Now that's tough, because there's been people who come from all over the place and jumped up and God knows how many positions to get up the pack. I thought Jack Williams today drove again superb and put himself on the podium again. After last week, he was really solid last week as well. So I think he's improving week on week. But you've put me on the spot, because there's been some arguments of Super Gabu's gone well again to put himself a couple of places up from his grid position. Unknown Elders jumped a load of positions in the race and generally had a decent race. It's anybody's. Leave it to the vote.
Yeah, I think you neglected to mention the championship leader there. I think that's my initial driver of the day. It has to be Warrior Huntsman. Started 10th, finishes 2nd, but like you say, Judd Williams qualified in 3rd, finished in 1st. Again, shout out to Super Gabba, who didn't have the greatest of qualifying sessions, got spun in the opening laps, and he's come across to take a podium again. But that's it for us for this weekend. Round 8 done and dusted in the CRA. On to America next week and the Circuit of the Americas in the heart of Austin, Texas. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you again for joining me, Danny.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure. It's class.
And we will see you all next week.